It's time to feel the rage. Welcome to Film Rage, where we talk movies in theaters, streaming, and classic films as well. Directors and actors beware, as you cannot hide from the rage. My name is Bryce, and I'm part of the Film Rage crew, which also includes Jim. Hey there, Jim.
Oh, hey, Bryce.
That was way too enthusiastic. I'm counting on Murph to bring this down a little. Hey, Murph, how's it going, man?
Yo.
There we go. That's what I need. I don't need this, hey, Bryce. At any rate.
Says.
I know.
I'm
It's
always
annoying.
excited.
Yeah, you're too excited.
Always.
You realize that we're doing an episode today.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Got to be serious.
Oh.
Film Rage is all about seriousness.
Are we really?
I am.
Oh, yes, Bryce.
Thank you. So with the introductions out of the way, let's rage on.
All right. Well, thanks for all been supporting us. If you love our independent podcast or even just like it a little bit, please like, subscribe, share, and give us a 5-star rating on your listening platform, or support us and join the Film Rage community by joining our membership at buymeacoffee.com/FilmRageYYC. If you cannot commit to a membership, you can still buy us a movie rental and dare us to see a terrible film, or at least one that we think is terrible. And as long as it played in a cinema anywhere in the world, well, watch it.
Yeah, we
Now,
will.
let's get to raging. What amazing moment? What amazing moment? Rage, or will he predict a mondo? Will he tell us all what Jim and Bryce saw at the movies? Better watch out, kids, 'cause here he comes, swimming like a monkey through you. Swim, monkey, Murray, swim. Bryce?
Swim, Murray, swim.
Murray. Swim all the way to our hearts, our little hearts, hearts.
I think I missed my cue.
You missed all your cues.
Do monkeys swim?
Monkeys can definitely swim.
I never seen monkeys swim.
Monkeys love to swim.
Monkeys are awesome.
Monkeys are the swimmiest
All right.
swimmers that have ever
Speaking of
swim.
monkeys,
Yes.
we went to see some monkeys.
We did.
A
See a
bad
lot-
little
we
monkey.
see a lot of monkeys
Not the
lately.
60s, not the 60s band, but
No.
Just some bad little monkey.
yeah, like I think every episode we've had since January
There's a lot of monkeys.
has
lot
had
of
a
monkey
monkey.
movies.
Has
Yes,
a
there
monkey.
are.
There's like nothing but monkey.
Yes.
Okay. The Monkey,
Right.
Yes.
which was a horror/comedy,
Yes.
as to opposed to horror/horror,
Yes.
which are not often that good.
Right.
Sometimes they're awesome.
I don't know. We had some fun. There were some laughs to be had.
There were definitely some laughs.
People were getting their heads cut off by various things.
There was like decapitations like you wouldn't
Everywhere.
believe. Everywhere you
Yeah.
looked, someone's head was flying off.
I mean, it's a movie, it has a monkey in it, and it's got killing. I think Jim might have given it a mondo.
There you go.
Yes.
And I think Bryce, maybe not as much. Maybe just a high meh.
Interesting.
Alright.
I was having a good time, bro.
Then we have, how could I tell? You're like 4 seats over
Hiding
Yes.
in the weeds.
with your war wound.
Yes.
That was the funniest. We'll talk about that later.
Well, the fact that we sat at the very top row and Bryce is hobbling, get all the way up there, puts down his popcorn and drink, and then hobbles all the way back down again to go to the bathroom. That was the funny part.
That was the funniest part of the whole movie.
You guys also saw something called Unbreakable Boy, which
yes.
Yes.
watching the trailer, I'm convinced it's 100% a conversion film. Because if there wasn't some heavy duty praying going on with that kid, I don't know.
70%.
It looked pretty religious to me.
It was conversion-y, but it wasn't like
Super conversion.
super conversion
with
film.
Mr. Shazam himself,
Yes.
Yes.
Levi.
Yeah.
I can't see this being anything but a double rage.
Really?
No.
Yeah, I don't think you would have
You
liked
know how
it.
much we love American acting
Conversion
kids?
films? Yeah,
and conversion
sure.
films?
Cute
It's
little
not
kids
a
who have.
conversion film.
Ish.
I don't know. I think it was.
But you didn't see it.
I saw the trailer. That was all I had to see.
That's right.
Whatever. Anyways,
Jeebus does make an appearance.
No.
well, there's a whatever. Doesn't matter. We're gonna start with the monkey.
Uh-huh.
E.
The monkey is about a, don't call it a toy, monkey that once you wind him up and he starts beating his drum, someone dies. Now, while we do get a lot of Final Destination type kills, it is a very different film than that.
Way different.
Because in that film, Final Destination, you can break death's cycle and there is hope for you to survive. In The Monkey, it is made very clear early on that everybody dies.
Everybody's
and there
screwed.
is no loophole.
Nope.
And it is probably going to be a pretty dramatic and gooey death. This seems like director-writer Oz Perkins wanted to take a break from the depths of his previous films and just make a good old-fashioned, ultra-entertaining splatterfest. And that is exactly what this was. Now, while it is based on the Stephen King short story, it has upped the ante with both humor and horror. Basically, the film is about two twin brothers who encounter a, don't call it a toy, monkey, that when it gets wound up, death is soon to follow. Now, you can bury it or chop it into pieces, but it does not matter as it always comes back. It is not particular about who it kills, but the person that turns the key seems safe. That's it. That's the movie. I mean, there's a lot of family dynamic stuff and with estranged brothers and father-son relationships, but basically, this is a little over 90 minutes of people dying in unique and extremely juicy ways. Now, I could go into the fact that Oz Perkins' mom died in one of the 9/11 plane crashes and how that probably adds many layers to the meaning of this. And you know, to Oz Perkins, that is probably true. But all I know is I had a good old-fashioned, great time watching this from start to finish. This was so much fun. To give it anything but a Mondo would be a crime. I enjoyed it too much. There's probably some stuff in it where I could have picked it apart, but why would I? It was too much fun. It was Mondo.
There you go. All right, so the monkey. Sorry, the monkey. Is that serious enough for you? The monkey.
Make it quick. I'm watching Switchback.
Okay. So we got another horror comedy from the always awesome Oz Perkins, and in my opinion, he puts humor in everything he does.
Yeah,
It's layered in there, and lots of times, it's pretty dry.
Man, he is so close to being undoubted.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get to 8.
Yeah, he's only 3 away.
Yeah, where we have the most extreme sibling rivalry that's ever existed. Not since Cain and Abel has there been as extreme competition between two brothers. But in this tale, the agent of destruction, as Bryce has already alluded to, is an evil toy monkey. Wait, sorry. You're not supposed to call it a toy.
Doll.
The monkey doesn't like that.
No,
Apparently not.
This has at times
we were told that many times.
many times, and I may repeat it again.
Don't call it a toy.
And Murray may also repeat it. Who knows? This has at times the driest level of deadpan humor that possibly has ever existed in some of the most extreme and humorous deaths of any, and I'm putting in heavy quotes here, accidental deaths in moviedom. Like head on fire followed by impaled on mailbox, cannonball to the head, accidental shotgun to the head, school bus cheerleaders, semi-truck, hands out the window, and my personal favorite, the Ginsu Cleaver Teppanyaki accident. I haven't had this much fun watching innocent people dying in a movie in quite some time. We have our two twin brothers that find their dad's wind-up toy monkey, where one brother, who is a total asshole, basically bullies and terrorizes his brother, even to the point of having mean girls at the school bully him, because he's not getting enough bullying.
Yeah, he's not getting it done by himself. He has to employ a bunch
he has to employ a
hot
bunch of
girls to beat the crap out of his brother, too.
Mean girls is what they are.
Yeah.
The other brother, on the other hand, is more meek and mild, and ultimately is one who discovers that this evil monkey is killing people when you wind the key in the back of the monkey. Soon, a lot of people they love all start dying off, which makes them decide to finally get rid of this monkey by throwing it down a well. I bet you can guess that this did not go well for all of them.
Monkey
is there a
did-
metaphor there?
Monkey didn't like that either.
I don't think the monkey liked that either. He didn't like getting chopped up either, but
No.
you know, he did some of that. Fast forward to adulthood, meek and mild brother has a shitty life, an ex-wife, and a son he is trying to avoid in fear that he will become accidental monkey fodder. Another death brings the brothers back together after 10 years of not seeing each other in a showdown of epic proportions. This movie is hilarious and gory, and as much as I never think that Oz can outdo himself from the movie I saw before this, this one is also one of the best times I've had in a cinema chair from a horror movie in a very long while. It is super, super mondo. I've got some unpacking, but what's the Mur got think? Because the Mur got to see Monkey with us, so he could practice his monkey swims.
People may know I'm not exactly a big horror movie fan.
No, but you do love
most horror
comedies.
films start at a rage and occasionally make it to a meh.
That's true.
One sure way for this to happen is to make it funny, as opposed to scary, which it rarely ever is. The Monkey is one of those films. Yeah, the plot was stupid, and the acting wasn't great, but all can be forgiven for some really creative and bloody kills. This movie had that to the max. Just when I thought it couldn't be any more outrageous, the next body gets chopped up brilliantly in a new way. Oh yeah, there was a major lag in the middle. I guess every story needs a boring exposition and unnecessary explanation.
That didn't happen in the
think
second
that.
one of the Halloween ones.
No, but it happened in this movie.
Evil Dies Tonight.
There was
Remember
a
that?
there was a giant lull right in the
Trying to
middle
forget
there.
it, Jim.
There was a good 20-30 minutes between kills there in the middle. Like that was too much time.
Whatever.
Luckily, the bloody action more than made up for it. This was never going to be a mondo. But for a horror film I didn't even want to see, it was a decent man.
All right. So can we unpack the level of awesomeness from these deaths?
Yeah, it was.
They're just like every single one was almost as outrageous as the one like the very
Well, the mother one wasn't that. That was just sad, but
which one was it? How did the oh yeah
she just like keeled over.
yeah
Brain aneurysm, but she didn't
yeah.
get chopped up or decapitated.
Yeah, but I mean, the monkey traumatized the son for seeing it
For 20 years,
and
yeah.
also because the one brother. Here's a spoiler, everybody. The one brother tries to kill the other brother, so he spins it, but instead it kills his mom. So,
Yeah.
which kind of makes
You don't
'Cause
tell the monkey who to kill.
Because
Yeah,
he
you
didn't know
the
the
monkey
rules.
tells you who he's gonna kill.
Yeah, and the monkey don't really care.
Nope.
Yeah.
But
As long as he's killing somebody.
yep.
But you're in for a treat right from the very beginning when the very first opening scene is the dad going in to give this monkey away.
Yeah, but it
to
doesn't
a
actually
pawn
show what
shop.
happened to him.
No, I know you don't see what happens. He left. He gave that monkey and ran the fuck out of there.
Yeah, no, he took the flamethrower to it, and then you never see him
Yeah,
again.
no, because he escaped.
Hey, and how about the Elijah Wood cameo?
Yeah.
The 5-minute scene, yeah, that he was like
So good.
credited as part of the movie. I'm like, 5 minutes,
You
that's
know
all we
what?
get?
That's
You know what?
it was-
Sometimes that's all you need.
Sometimes you just need a little taste.
Yeah.
Because he stole his power.
If
So his power.
If
That
you-
was so good.
if you have even 5 minutes of Elijah Wood, you count
tell
yourself
you,
lucky. That's
absolutely.
enough to make a movie mondo, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh man.
It doesn't matter what he's in.
This was just so much fun. Love this movie. Go see the monkey.
Yeah, it's funny because I've heard a couple people talk about it. It's like, oh, it's not really all that funny, and I'm like, what are you talking about?
What?
This was like the driest, like at points, some of the driest, bone dry humor.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
I don't think
I-
this movie went 3 minutes without a laugh.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And usually
How about
it's
the
like
bee kill?
usually you're laughing all the way to the next
Yeah,
laugh.
exactly. Yeah, because you haven't stopped laughing from the previous
Exactly.
kill. Like the bee kill.
Oh.
The bee kill was
Just
so, so outrageous.
Yeah, 2-inch hole in the windshield. You had 1,000
Those bees
bees.
found
The
a way
entire
in.
hive got right through it. Very, very. They were organized. They knew where they were going,
They knew.
and they were on a mission.
They flew to the moon / his face.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, every character
Right into
in
one
this
of his face holes.
was so good. Maybe a few actually.
That was just the mouth.
All right. Anything else? You wanna
No,
say
it was
about
just real good. Go watch it. I loved it.
Yeah, I did too.
Mondo.
He's There's nothing he's made that hasn't been
No,
Mondo yet.
it's just ridiculous. Oz Perkins is 5 for 5.
Yep.
Like literally 5 for 5.
And the Black
Everybody
Coat's
go see him.
daughter is
Yeah.
so different than anything else. His first
The Black
movie.
Coat's daughter is excellent. I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House is excellent.
Yes.
Gretel and Hansel is excellent.
Yeah, especially
Long
the
Legs is
soundtrack.
excellent. The Monkey is
Is
excellent. It's
In fact,
just,
it's Mondo.
it's so good. So
All right, well,
good.
we're going to go from so good to a movie
Something else.
called The Unbreakable Boy. So we got a narrator by a 13-year-old boy and is the filter for this movie. I mean, you know, if you are getting a filter of what's happening to a story filtered by a 13-year-old, you are in for trouble right from the first 2 minutes that you're watching this.
Yipperoo.
Now, he's not always the narrator, though, which I didn't understand. In what can only be described as a film not for me in any way. And the
Oh,
dad played by Zachery Levi, but he has an imaginary friend as an adult. So at no point did this also make sense. And no, this is not where Jeebus comes in. And no, his imaginary friend is not Jesus, which although I think Jesus, may be some people's imaginary friend. In this story, it isn't though. And upon learning this, I also realized this is not going to be a film for me. And this is maybe 10 minutes into the film. And we get scene after scene after scene of some of the most predictable, unoriginal, and annoying writing I've seen since the last Christian conversion film I saw. Wait, is this a spoiler? No, it's not, because you know, as soon as you know who this was produced by, you know there's going to be some form of conversion in it. Because before we bought our tickets, we knew that this was produced by the Kingdom Story Company. So we knew we were in for some trouble. Now, all that being said, watching this kid break every bone in his body every 5 minutes was actually kind of fun. Bryce and I were kind of laughing at that more than anything else.
It's like bring on the breakage.
Yeah. So
let's just get a blooper reel of that. Well, not even just a reel of that.
yeah, just if we had a 10-minute reel
of just him breaking his
every
bones?
bone in his body,
That would have been good.
We went from watching people die in humorous and fantastical ways to watching this Christian conversion film put in this kid that was almost dying every 5 minutes. So apparently we were getting off on watching people get tortured, I guess.
Yeah, well.
I also did not understand how a person, the kid's mom, who has a genetic disease where their bones break, would go through life and not get their baby tested when it's born, or even the doctors for that matter, just naturally do it. Like, it's not like the kids, like, it's not like the story took place 50 years ago where they didn't have tests. And they knew as soon as they did some simple blood test on the kid that he had this disorder, and then they don't know that their kid is on the spectrum until he's like 5. These parents were complete morons. Plus, they basically never talk to each other and have no clue what's happening in each other's lives through the entire movie. And we get basically no character development other than the mom is breakable because of her disease and the dad is an alcoholic. These are their only traits, Murray. I'm breakable and you're an alcoholic. Yeah, these characters were as paper thin as you can get.
They have their faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't really do anything for them.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Because it's faith. It's not magic.
It's not magic. Yeah, for sure. And then every single thing that happens is predictable, expected, exactly what you think. And then Jesus brings everybody together happily ever after at the end of this. And then we learn it is really based on a true story, Murray. I'm guessing written.
Was there a QR code at the end?
No, there
wasn't.
There was no QR code on this one. But I'm guessing it was maybe written by the 13-year-old narrator because we see the real life people.
Yeah.
What the actual
It's actually based on a novel by the father.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to be just an account of his life. And that's part of the problem of this movie is it just goes right along with every little thing about. It wouldn't have mattered. I mean, it's going to suck. Go on and then I'll talk.
I have no clue why anybody would think this was interesting or entertaining at all. Between the annoying kid all the way through this, or the atypical
97%
Christian
on the
redemption-
popcorn meter, Jim.
Yeah,
Oh,
atypical
man.
Christian redemption film.
Of course,
This was
critics, it's 43%.
You mean
was-
all 97 church-going religious people went to see it, loved it?
250 plus verified ratings.
That's right.
Yeah, so the only good thing about this movie, Marie, is that I set my timer because we know what Bryce is like when he's in a movie and he's boiling in an uncontrollable rage, and he was already crippled. So I was just waiting for the moment. I was waiting for the time where he had to start pacing through the cinema.
Like, what is going on?
You started
he's
pacing in the
shaking
back
his
row.
arms and falling down the stairs, and I'm just laughing and laughing and laughing and laughing at Bryce. It was literally as much fun as I had in The Monkey. Watching Bryce watching this movie was almost as fun, but it's a rage because this movie's horrible.
The movie's horrible. There's nothing that makes any there's no way that your mom has a rare bone disease and you're not going to get your kid tested when all he does is cry.
Yeah.
I realize babies cry, but this was excessive, and there's no way you're not going to take it to the doctor and the doctor's going to go, "Oh, wait a second. You've actually got..." So it's so dumb. Like, the kid breaks its ribs when it's born.
Yeah.
And they can't figure out, and that's fine. You know, you're not going to figure that out right off the bat. But the fact that it doesn't stop crying, even if it came out and it was a perfect birth, you still think that they would test it.
Yes.
It makes no sense
If
whatsoever.
the mother has it, you think they would
Yes,
test
it's
it
a genetic disease.
before it ever left the hospital.
Yeah.
So that you
Yes.
know that you got to watch your kid, because if he steps off a curb, he's going to break his ankle.
And this kid was stepping off curbs the whole
He
movie.
was clumsy,
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So, anyways, the movie, like, this was like dread porn. It's like, you got that, you got the alcoholic father, the mother's can break bones easily, even though she's jumping around the living room like an idiot.
Yeah.
You've got the bully at school. I mean, it's just like, it just
Every paint
kept
by
on
numbers.
piling on and piling on, and then you got the only thing that. Like, I can't believe that, when he drove home drunk, he didn't actually... Well, I guess he did drive into a tree. But,
his
I mean,
front
just
yard.
like, everything was just dread on top. And I love dread, but not when it's just... Ugh. Like, this movie just wouldn't stop. And it went on and on.
was 2 hours.
It's called The Unbreakable Boy. But, so why do I care about all these frickin' AA meetings? And these idiot parents... Like, it wasn't going to be any better if we focused on this annoying little kid, but it wasn't going to be any worse. Because I hated this movie start to finish. Zachery Levi, I don't care what you guys say. This guy is freaking repulsive. My God. Purple Crayon Boy, or whatever the hell that was called.
Awesome.
Repulsive. He was repulsive in this. He was repulsive in the second Shazam. He was even repulsive in Shazam, even though Shazam was at least well written and it was pretty good, the first one. But he was not the reason why. This guy is awful, and he continues to be awful. And I'm sorry, he was awful in that Kurt Warner movie too. Repulsive.
That was a religious conversion film.
Yeah, well, I know it was.
Apparently that's
because that's Warner's all about the Jesus for
He
sure.
is.
Yeah, I
He's also
realize
my
that.
favorite all-time NFL player. So
Hey, on that level, cool. They made a bad movie, man.
I didn't
But
mind
that
it.
has nothing to do with that. This guy is just
He
repulsive.
was my favorite of all of Zachery Levi's movies, I can tell you that.
And I think that speaks volumes right there.
He even
Shazam was the
even
best.
ruined Thor.
At any rate, this movie is absolutely unwatchable. Please do not give this frickin' movie a penny. It is
Although,
garbage.
If you're listening to our podcast and you're really a heavy-duty Christian...
Well, if you're into
may enjoy it.
if you're into like dread porn, then I guess watch this, because it's all just ridiculous. Like, what else can happen to this idiot family?
Every
Well-
single move they make. And the one that got me was that they didn't talk to each other.
And it's
at
got an
all.
imaginary freaking friend for not the kid, the dad. Like, what? How does that add anything
Any value
to this?
Yeah, and
My
yeah,
God.
And at the end, we find out he still has it. The real life person.
Yeah. Well, and then
still has-
towards the end, Jim Titsby, so well, he's like, well, he's obviously gonna get together with the priest, and then they're gonna have like a little, and then he's got to get back
Exorcism?
together with his imaginary friend at some point
Because he broke up with his
imaginary friend. And what does that have to do with the Unbreakable Boy, you might ask? Who knows? They needed to make this movie 6 hours long, I guess. So they just kept on putting crap in it that didn't add anything to anything. I hated this movie. If this doesn't end up on my bottom 5 of the year, I will be frickin' shocked. Rage, 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 rage.
Nice.
Not enough rage.
That's literally the best thing that's ever happened.
My God.
What a surprise.
I wish I would have recorded Bryce in the theater. Next time I'm going to do that.
And we'll just play that as my review.
Sure.
Oh, the myrrh.
Well, brace yourself, boys.
Zachary Levi's
I'm about to
greatest
talk
films.
about your least favorite topic.
Top Gun.
Award
Trash.
shows.
It's not my least favorite topic. It's
I
Jim's.
know. We don't care about them.
That's right. I don't.
Well, over the weekend, I found one that was highly entertaining and
Raspberries?
fun. Well, that's this weekend, I think.
Oh,
The Screen Actors Guild Award.
This little show was called Movies for Grown-Ups,
Okay.
sponsored by the
AARP.
AARP.
Hey,
For us Canucks, that's the American Association of Retired Persons.
nice.
As a Carpy myself, I can
Sounds like the
totally relate. Unfortunately, in Hollywood, there seems to be a perception that actors cease to be employable after they turn 50. We all know that's not true, and this show celebrates that.
All right.
This award show is
horrible.
hosted by the always entertaining Alan Cumming,
Yeah,
Nice.
okay.
himself a new addition to the 60-year-old club.
That's not very
He
old.
was singing and dancing his way through every award, fabulous as ever.
Nice.
Now, the award winners don't really matter, but for the record, Demi Moore, Best Actress for The Substance.
Ugh.
Adrian Brody, Best Actor for Brutalist.
Okay.
Peter Sarsgaard, Best Supporting Actor
Uh-huh.
for September 5th. Joan Chen, Best Supporting Actress for Dee Dee.
wait! Shouldn't these old people be
Dee Dee,
voting?
She was awesome in Dee Dee, by
Yeah.
the way.
Sing Sing
totally.
won for Best Ensemble.
Okay.
And Complete Unknown won Best Picture. June Squibb even got an award for
Of course.
Thelma
Of course she
at
did.
92 years old.
No, no.
And Glenn Close
She should have gotten an award, but not for Thelma.
Anyway, well,
Yes.
it's her first leading role
She used,
Oh,
in
she
her
was-
whole
she
life.
used to be
She
mesmerizing.
was, and then she made
And
Thelma.
Glenn Close got a Lifetime Achievement.
Yes.
What was so
Cool.
different about this
Motherfucking Glenn
award
Close.
show is that I'm pretty sure the winners knew ahead of time that they had won. The
Were there
produ-
nominations, or did they
No,
just
they
say?
were nominated. There was a list.
Oh, there was a list. Okay.
But the producers actually got friends and colleagues to introduce them and present them the award.
Ah.
So that's got to take planning. You
This
can't
is-
just call it up.
This sounds like the worst thing that's ever happened.
For example, John Stamos gave Demi her award because they were on a soap opera together. Sean Penn gave Peter Sarsgaard his Best Actor award, etc., etc.
I can't believe everybody showed up for an AARP
Almost
award
everybody.
show.
Glenn Close wasn't there. She was shooting
of
somewhere
course,
else.
because
but-
Glenn Close is
Yeah,
smart.
because she's got class.
Another thing that sets this show apart is there were no commercials.
Hey, AARP movies for grown-ups, good stuff.
There were no commercials because it was on PBS.
I've watched it. I've watched
and
the
it was
movie.
over in 2 hours because old people need to pee.
Old people do need to pee.
This show was just fun from start to finish.
Sounds horrible.
A true celebration of people that are still relevant in their older years. As somebody who finds themselves competing for manual labor jobs with people half his age,
Yep.
I can appreciate that.
Nice.
It's not the Oscars. In some ways, it's better.
Little side story real quick.
Yeah.
AARP. They had a screening of everywhere, what's it called?
Everything Everywhere All at
Everything
Once?
Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
if you watch that movie, the AARP screening, with the comments at the side going, because you can actually comment while you're watching the movie with these screenings,
Sweet.
right? It was the funniest thing ever because they were like,
They had no idea what was going on.
they had no idea what was going on. They're like, I can't believe that Jamie Lee Curtis. I love Jamie Lee Curtis, but this is not good. And what was the? I wish I could remember all of them. There were some just genuinely laugh out loud. Like I'd already seen the movie, so I was just watching the comments.
Yeah.
And oh my god, they were hilarious.
There you go. Old people are funny.
They are.
This literally sounds like the worst
It
experience.
was the best.
I'm changing my rate.
It was on PBS, so it was educational.
There you go.
Temperature rising. Vision blurring. Rage taking over.
All right, so my rage was going to be something completely different, but now it's the fact that that award show that Murray just told me about actually exists. It's not enough that I hate every award show because they're all stupid. They're like, it's like a giant circle jerk
Come
from a bunch
now.
of idiots that
They recognize older actors.
That's
Why
right.
would you be against
Okay,
that?
so I'm sorry. Can you
Coleman
please?
Domingo
can
was
you-
there.
Can you? Okay,
Love
so
Coleman Domingo.
So is Coleman Domingo over 60?
Yeah.
He's over 50. It's
So-
over 50, not over 60.
So the
Let's
only
see.
people that are nominated for this are people that are is there like a rule associated with this?
Yes.
This is already the
The
stupidest
nominees
thing
have
I've
to be
ever
over
heard.
50, which is why Timothée Chalamet wasn't nominated. But his movie was.
Yeah, I don't understand why that movie
It,
was
it
nominated.
was just celebrating old people.
Well, because Bob Dylan is still alive and he's old, I guess.
All right.
This is
So the
just
rules are
fact-
loose. That's
the
fine.
the fact that award shows exist at all, and then on top of that, here's my biggest rage because
Hey, he's only 5 years
first
older
off,
than
the
me.
Oscars
There
is
you
the
go.
biggest
56.
joke of anything that's ever been created. And the only thing that was ever good about the Oscars from the last 20 years, because I've stopped watching the Oscars 20 years ago. Maybe once I watched it. I don't know why.
You watched it with me.
I watched it with you. That's why, because I wanted to be supportive to you. But the only thing that I've ever found good about the Oscars is the musical performances. Remember last year when we talked about it, and you guys were like, "Oh, you got to go watch It's Ken. You're gonna love it." And
It
I
was
did
good.
love it.
It was good.
And I did love it. There's only thing good about the music or the Oscars is the music. And this year they took the music performances out of the Oscars.
I'm telling
so
you, man.
now
Taking
it-
shots at the AARP is not good
It's
news.
not
Jim.
cool.
I don't.
Not for the
care.
oldest
These old folks, man.
Not for the oldest people, oldest person.
You
in
don't
this
want to
room.
mess with them, man.
I'm in their age group, so
I know you're the oldest one
I just
here.
don't. I just don't
Oh,
understand.
dude.
I don't understand at all
Yeah,
why
you
we have
don't.
so many.
You don't like
free
award
awards.
shows.
If
We
Alan
get-
Cumming
we get
hosted
it.
the Oscars, it might actually be watchable.
There you go.
Because Conan O'Brien is not funny.
Conan O'Brien is funny. What are
He's
you
not
talking
funny.
About?
I'm not gonna watch
He's
him.
hilarious.
You know what? I like Alan Cumming, but
I do
I'll
too.
watch him in a movie because you know what? That's usually good.
He's good in everything. He was on Broadway.
Yeah.
He was on Broadway. Okay.
He was.
A lot of people were on Broadway that aren't good in everything.
But he was
what does
good.
that have to do with anything? He was on Broadway, so he's automatically good. Didn't you miss something?
Did I miss something?
No.
This is your rage.
Yeah. Isn't there an intro to it?
This is the intro.
No! The actual intro.
I did do the intro.
Did I miss it?
Yes.
When did that happen?
And you were talking about whatever you were talking about. There's the intro, then there's his music, which I played, and then there's your
What is
music.
wrong with you
which
right
is what's
now?
playing
I
now.
didn't hear.
You are a complete.
Rage taking over.
Yeah.
Did we really hit it?
Yes.
I gotta listen to this back because I don't believe you.
Yeah, well,
Anyways, go ahead.
it's your turn.
I've already raged. What do you
Oh,
think that
your
was?
music.
Oh, that's why. Because this is my
are-
rage.
You are a complete idiot.
What are you on?
In addition, in
Jeez.
addition to him being crippled, he's also brain damaged as well.
See, he's old.
Okay, my rage is Zachary.
Now you see why
Just
I don't-
shut up. My rage is Zachary Levi. That's it.
That's it.
Okay,
Just
this is
in
the reason
general?
why old people
Just being born in general?
That's right. That was your rage. Okay, I missed it. What was your rage again? Oh, yeah.
You're missing a lot of
things. Award
things.
shows again.
Well, it's mostly that the Oscars took out the
Just
music.
you wait, because the big one's on Sunday.
Oh, is that this week?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting for somebody.
I'm sure you're going to put some money on something.
No. I've got $1 in my Pinnacle account, man. I don't put anything on it.
There you go. Bet $1.
I went and did a stupid parlay in the
Didn't work
Super
out?
Bowl instead of just betting the Eagles to win. I even made the Eagles like 3.5 point favorites so I could get a bigher payoff. But
Why is it every
But I had
time
to tie
we
it
do-
in with the under like an
Why
idiot.
Hey, don't look at me. I stopped talking football 2 weeks ago.
Why are we find a way to talk about fucking football in our
Because everything's gambling,
our
Tim.
film?
Anyways, let's move on.
Anyway, that was it. Zachary Levi.
Yeah, Zachary Levi. That's my rage.
All right, then.
Nice.
Now listen close, Bryce.
Rage subsiding. Pulse slowing. Anger fading.
I forgot that it was even me.
Last
forgot
time
what?
on Rage or Dare, Jim apparently forgot how horrible it was to fish his wish from Bryce's bag of rage, because he still went back there, where he pulled the 1979 boxing film starring the one and only Barbara Streisand. That's right, Babs herself, in the film The Main Event. This week, it's both our little ragelings' turn to rage or dare. Now, let's check in with Jim and see if his disdain for rom-coms and his separate disdain for sports movies will be compounded by the fact that this may also possibly be a musical. I mean, I'm not saying it is, but if Babs is in it, I mean, she might be singing, right?
Is she boxing?
I don't think she sings in it.
Does she do any
I
boxing?
don't remember her singing in it at least.
Yeah, she does a lot of things in this movie. So, orgy in her nose. Yes. That is a line from this movie.
Yes.
And then, holy crap, Babs and Ryan are the most overacting pair I've ever seen in my life. And they're overacting the shit out of this film. But we also get 70s leg warmers and aerobics and Babs, who is talking, I want to say 2,000 words a minute, like she was on speed or something. I also had to watch this at half speed just so I could make sense of what she was saying half the time.
She does talk quick.
She talks so frantic and fast-paced through this entire movie. So the story is she gets ripped off by her accountant. So she's broke, except she owns Ryan O'Neal. Yes, that is, I think, was a joke in this, that she owns him. She has no money, so she's broke, except she has Ryan O'Neal to be a better boxer to get $350,000 to pay off her debt. Cue sports movie plot meets rom-com. But when I say but, what we also get is a ton of hot men's naked butts, but no women at all. So I guess this is a bit of a flip on the social commentary of nudity in film in this era, I guess. We even get a small, very small sidewiener shot. Hubba. From a giant black dude as Babs walks in.
I don't remember Sidewiener in this. There was Sidewiener?
There was Sidewiener in this, and Babs looking at his junk like she's thirsting after a delicious Slurpee from 7-Eleven. The whole story idea had her being broke because of being ripped off, but she owns a perfume company, which seems to be fairly successful. That is, successful. But this is like it's written for people who like rom-coms, I think. So she sells her company to pay off some of her debt, but she still owns Ryan O'Neal's contract, which was to pay Ryan to do nothing because it was like some kind of stupid thing that he had going on with the accountant. But at the same time, he's still supposed to do 2 fights a year, which he never did. So she says he owes her money. So this is when the boxing rom-com story sort of starts. And if you were confused as what the fuck is happening, you weren't alone. I was feeling the exact same way. The acting in this is so horribly unwatchable and painfully overacted. I can't believe this was even made. And on top of that, we get the absolute typical model of horrible rom-com plots. He is a horrible person, and yes, she needs him to get her money back. But in no universe ever would they ever have fallen in love. But can you guess what happens?
They fall in love?
They fall in love. That's
No.
right, they fall in love. And getting someone as old as Ryan O'Neal to be a pro fighter also made no sense. And the funniest part about this was how fast he moves on her at a certain point, which made no sense in the story. All that being said, watching Ryan O'Neal box as Babs reading a book about how to box to tell him how to box was so absolutely hilarious for 2 minutes of this movie. I couldn't stop laughing at that scene. It was so completely ridiculous. It made me laugh for 2 minutes. Nothing about this made any sense because in no world would this ever have happened. The love, him boxing, any form of opportunity of him actually getting a fight or having a press party to profile him. This truly was not only the worst sports movie I've ever seen, but also the worst rom-com I've ever seen. On top of that, we had to wait through the entire rage-filled horror fest of a film before we get to the very end where we get a song by Babs. My good God, what a way to hold us hostage. But I did laugh for 2 minutes.
So it was Mondo.
So that one scene with her reading him how to box, so if I was Bryce, this might have made it all the way to Matt.
No.
But of course, I'm not Bryce. Oh, did I mention the boxing scenes in this were so awful?
You did.
Not one punch actually landed on anyone ever through the
Yes.
entire movie. And the ending is the stupidest ending of a movie I've ever seen. She throws in the towel at this competition where they basically said it's an all or nothing and he's winning. And then I'm thinking to myself, what? Couldn't you have just let him win and then talk to him after the boxing match? But no, she threw in the money to threw in the towel to prove her love for him.
Sounds awesome.
This is torture.
Thank you.
It really was. It really was.
I'm telling you, man, I spent some time on my... The last time I filled my bag, I was like willy-nilly just throwing it. And there was some bad stuff in it. But you ain't seen nothing yet, friend.
I'm sure there's going to be something in there that I'm going to get
I
him onto.
don't think so.
I'm positive I'll find
I
something.
don't think so.
All right. Well, we got to choose something. What are we choosing? You know what? We haven't gone to the listener's dare bag for a while.
All right.
Let's see if it's almost empty. We might have to reach out to our audience.
Listener's dare bag. What have they come up with for us? Something good, I hope.
Oh, it's always good.
Not always, but sometimes.
House of the Dead?
No!
Didn't we watch that already once?
That's a video game?
Maybe. That's Uwe Boll.
Yes.
There you go.
You want to pick a backup just in case
It's
we
amazing
haven't?
how often his name
Pick a
comes up.
backup just in case, because we had to have done that already, or one of us at least.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was you, actually. Catwoman!
There you go,
good. I like-
Halle Berry.
That one's good.
I like Catwoman. This is going to be the listener dare bag of meh.
Did we not do it? Because I remember watching Catwoman recently.
Well, that's your problem.
You sure?
Yeah, I never would have asked you to watch it.
I swear I watched it. Now, maybe I just watched it on my own accord.
Maybe you
must
did.
have. But now you're gonna get to.
Are you
watch
sure
it
you don't
with
need to
all of
pick
us.
a third one? Because I think that we did
No,
it.
well, you can search the web, but it's.
All right. Well,
You know,
if
here's the
Well, I
thing.
guarantee you can find at least one of those two.
Yeah, here's the thing, folks. If we can't find, well, we're gonna find both of them. But if we haven't seen House of the Dead, maybe we'll watch both of them because
There
it's a
you go.
slow week
You
next
know
week
what?
at the
It's-
cinemas.
That's right.
it is what it is. I mean, if we messed up thinking we saw something and we didn't, and we pick another one. Well, if you picked it out of the bag, you got to watch it. If we haven't
Yep.
already
Yeah,
done it, so
that's
we-
right.
It might be
There
a
you go.
twofer.
Might be
That's
a twofer
right,
next week.
twofer, yeah.
Or it might be a zero-fer because I'm convinced I watched Catwoman.
Well, you
We'll
know what?
see.
Well, in bated breath, wait till next week.
Yeah.
No, this kind
cliffhanger.
of seems like a cliffhanger. It's like next week on Rage
Yeah,
or Dare.
watch-
Will the boys be
wait till
watching
next week.
1, 2, or 3 films? Well, thanks, Ragers, for listening. Thanks to Extended Film Rage family, you can find in our show notes. Thanks to Casey, the nerdy photographer, for the voice of Rage or Dare. Find us on social media everywhere at Film Rage YYC. Check out everything Film Rage at filmrageyyc.com, including our merch site for Redbubble and TeePublic. We're always going to make this a raging blast for all listeners, so please comment, like, subscribe, and send us emails to filmragecalgary@gmail.com. Dare us to see terrible movies to fuel our rage, but no matter what you do, please, 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 pretty please, 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 make us a rage. That's it for this week. Rage on!
Rage on!